Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick. This is our January 2022 Patreon Hangout, our first one of the year. We've done one of these, Hey, Dave's here as well. Hello, Dave. I didn't realize how many of these we had done in a row without any misses until I think Final Biscuit mentioned in the last one or two that we've done 3 or 4 years at this point consecutively without any misses, which is great because our first year and a half we missed a bunch of them. Granted, most of the time we didn't have anything really to talk about, but I think it's a good excuse to just kind of hang out for a little bit, shoot the shit, talk about stuff that's going on. Hopefully a handful of you guys got to watch the Thousand Arms finale that went up. It literally just ended 10-15 minutes ago. Just shy of 100 episodes, though there are 100 videos because we had the Lost session up there. Though also, it's interesting, the Lost session, I did my math afterwards because I was kind of guessing at the time until I actually got it edited in there. Yeah, Tonka's hanging out. She just had food. The Lost session would have taken one less episode. We got as far in one fewer episode in the Lost session than we did in the actual one, so we would have been at 98. And if we would have been at 98, I might have split the three things together. And I'll be surprised if any of the remaining hindsights are that long. Just going off of because most everyone has figured out and picked what their game would be. I'm not gonna say what they are, but I want to quickly pull them up. I've got them in here somewhere. I've got a huge notepad file. Yeah, I don't think any of these would be CJ's could be close, but his is the only one that's even in the ballpark. And I jokingly, I jokingly pitched one as either myself or as Ben, which could arguably be as long, but I really don't want to do it. So, hi, hello. The one that Jeff was originally suggesting seems like it'd be pretty short altogether. Not like mule short, but I don't know, average let's play somewhere the 20s, maybe 30s kind of thing. Oh yeah, we've got ultra low latency on, so I'm sure there's going to be some weird temporal looking weirdness. I'm literally seeing it in the stream before it's showing up on my side in the YouTube studio too, so that's fun. But yeah, Thousand Arms is finally out of the way. I enjoyed the camaraderie that we had for it, and I enjoyed the jokes we made about it, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy to see a game with Mega Man Star Force 2 level enemy wild encounters coming off of the table. So yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that the way that it got pitched was a rough estimate of 15-ish hours, which is fine. That's totally serviceable. But yeah, so yeah, I'm wiped out. I've been preparing a bunch of stuff. The games are right around the corner once again, and there's a lot of prep, and naturally, so we were supposed to do our multiplayer matches this past weekend on Sunday, but then folks from one of the teams were not able to show up at all, and we had to kind of call a mulligan on that for this Sunday before we realized that we're getting absolutely fucking pummeled tomorrow, possible historic snowstorm tomorrow. We could be seeing in the ballpark of 3 feet tomorrow kind of snow. And oh, she's so sad right now. And we're going to do our very best. I am low-key a little bit nervous about what happens if Sunday can't happen. I think what that means is I pull some strings and I talk to a few very specific people. I'm not even worried about necessarily the power. The power would be bad, but I assume that the power on Sunday will be fine. My worry is just driving conditions in general are going to be fucked. There's only so much you can plow and you can, truck away. So we'll see. But Worst case scenario is going to be I call well, yeah, that too. I call in essentially a couple favors from folks to make essentially be like, okay, you are the multiplayer rep for this team, you're the multiplayer rep for this team, etc. We just got to do this. We'll pick a day. We'll order pizza. We'll make like a thing of it. I'll make it up to you, something. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Yeah, honestly, it's funny. The last time it was this bad was 2014. I want to say it was the winter 2014. I might be off by a year. But we've got like pictures of myself and Meg and John at the old apartment standing next to the snowbanks, and they're taller than we are, and just walking through the city because the streets were empty, completely 100% empty. And there was like literally like 6 inches of snow just caked into the street. Like, it was horrible. And this was like 4 weeks into a 6-week span where literally every single Sunday it snowed. Every single Sunday for a month and a half it snowed. And this was during a point where Dustin was like regularly coming up to do recording with us. And he got stranded at our apartment twice in a row, once for 2 days. And the weekend after that, he was like, hey, I'm not coming up this weekend because I feel like I'm going to get stuck again. And I can't do that. And it's like, yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, that was the worst snow that I had seen in an extremely long time. Before that, I don't know, like 2006 or something was probably the last like really, really huge snow season. I forget. We had a blizzard of sort of year somewhere in the aughts, and I don't remember which year it was. But yeah, so I can say, as far as the games go, that progress is coming along really well. Between Imperium Ludum and Tierra de los Hermanos Hook, the bulk of the events have already been recorded, minus the multiplayer stuff. Almost all of them are recorded for both those teams. Daisy Baby Bitch is like halfway through solo events, and You Betcha Stan we're still working on. It's been a little bit of a tougher go on that front, but we will be doing our best over the next couple days here. It'll also be interesting. I'm curious what people are going to think about our selection of games this time around. It's a little trickier with winter sports. I feel like summer style sports have a lot more like easy analogs across video games, both between like really famous versions of the sport or really obvious like analogs, I guess, that are just kind of a common trope. Like skateboarding is one that is in tons and tons of video games. We wound up doing Tony Hawk because it's Tony Hawk and it was brand new. Unfortunately, we were already knee deep in it by the time, the bad things were revealed. But I feel like not doing Tony Hawk for skateboarding would have been like the most obvious miss you could arguably make in this entire thing. We have a similar, like, would be an obvious miss if not this game in this set of games. And I think it'll be obvious when it comes out. But yeah, honestly, that's the thing is like that's the other thing too is like the rules that I had kind of set down internally, because it would be so easy as a crutch to just do, we're going to play a bunch of these games and they all are sourced from Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Wii Sports, Mario Strikers, and track and field for arcades. Like, it'd be a little too obvious to just go for existing Olympics and sports like titles in that kind of way. So rather than doing that, the idea was more like, let's pull it from, more memorable games throughout. Winter is kind of tricky because like winter, when it comes to summer games, like there's skateboarding all over video games. Depending on how you define it, Sonic's done it. Chester Cheetah's done it. Oh my God. Bart Simpson's done it a billion times. Like, there's just everywhere. But comparatively, something like snowboarding, there's a handful of snowboarding games, but you don't see all that much snowboarding as like a thing, because winter isn't just a given, it's a theme. Ice levels and snow levels and like Christmas levels are like a themed thing. So you by default have like 10% the number of options that you would otherwise. So like it gets it a little bit trickier to make it, work. But yeah, honestly, when we were playing the first games, the idea was always that we were going to come back for another one of these. But at the time, the games were supposed to be in 2020, and then they were going to be late 2020, and then they were going to be early 2021. So all of those things were like, okay, we'll have time to get the next ones around. And then it wound up being like fall 2021, and like basically as soon as the first games are done, I'm going to be doing research and getting things situated so that we can like start moving on a second one of these. And it's been a little bit tricky, I'm not going to lie. Some sports were extremely hard to come up with a good analog for. I think what we came up with was pretty solid in the end. I think all of these, at least, most of them do work, like, slot in perfectly. A few of them are, like, reach, but they work, and, like, I think there's, like, one or two of these that are, like, yeah, okay. But honestly, when it comes down to it, like, the Winter Olympics are primarily a bunch of skiing and a bunch of skating. Like, that's like 90% of the winter games. So we had to get a little bit flexible to make this stuff work. Exactly, right? There's definitely a break after this, so that'll be good. Spyro was definitely something that I'd considered, except that like it's brutally difficult. Like the AI is like weirdly randomly unfair in there, and it felt like anything that we could reasonably have be a head-to-head competition. I guess that's the other thing too. Winter games don't have as many head-to-head competitions, so like we wound up having fewer direct competitive events this time around. I believe this time we have 4 out of the 16 are directly competitive. And the other 12 are all individual events. A couple of them are going to be kind of side-by-side runs. Most of them are not. Most of them are going to be one at a time. Off the top of my head, one... There's at least 2 that are going to be side-by-side the whole way. There might be 3. It'll really depend how long everyone's runs are for it. Dave had a suggestion for one that I did like, but then I tried setting them up as side by side, and it was impossible to keep up with it. So we're probably going to do them back to back, which is fine because it's not like super long. But it was one where like doing them side by side was going to mean that several competitors were going to end at the exact same time, which is neat. But it on the practical side, yeah, that was the thing, is like, cause like it's tough. Watching one, there's just little enough going on that you can kind of be like, okay, all right, like, there's not enough happening. But then having multiple, it's like just chaos. So I was like, all right, I need to let this one go side by side, or not side by side. Let this one go one at a time. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. The first event, God willing, will be going up on the 5th, with our opening ceremonies going up on the 4th, which is next Friday. And we're gonna do our damnedest to make this thing work. So here's hoping. We've got a couple commentators already lined up. We're reaching out to a couple more. And we should be having some new faces in there as well, which is going to be exciting. We've already got at least one new commentator already ready to roll, so that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, right? Oh my god. But yeah, no, I think this will be a pretty cool time. I really liked doing the first one. I thought it was a very fun, like different sort of thing. So I think it'll be neat to yeah. Oh my god. We just gotta set up the big wheel. We gotta like Wheel of Fortunate. Maybe that's what it's gotta be. It's gotta be like, it's not just like a wheel with wedges, but like the wheel with wedges means something also. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out for that. But let's see. So, I'm like caught on the mic here. Let me actually pull up my real notes. That was my the games related stuff. And I guess that's kind of the first thing on my list anyways. Like, yeah, the games are happening and they're going to be good and all of that. But I used to love Win Ben Stein's Money. I used to watch that shit all the time. It felt almost like a remixed version of 21. I don't know if anybody watched 21 or, replays of 21, I guess. The revived version of 21 was like whatever, but oh, nice. I've been meaning, honestly, I really want to get a big wheel. And I know that you can build it as well, but they also just kind of make and sell them. And especially with this apartment, we don't really have space for like a big, I would love to have a best of the worst style wheel, or wheel of the worst, I guess, literally, but it would not fit in here. And maybe when we have a new, more permanent place, that'd be a thing that can be constructed. But yeah, right. That'd be kind of cool. I feel like it's like an Iron Chef kind of thing, right? Iron thumbs. I feel like maybe that's a little too close to blistered thumbs, but iron thumbs. There you go. Let's think about that. Let's put that on the iron hand. Nice, because not iron fist, but iron hand. So that reminds me, back in college, there was this guy who I actually found his Twitter at random like a year or two ago, but he was big on coming up with tabletop and card games from scratch. And one of the ones he came up with was called Kung Fu the Card Game, the RPG, where it was a deck building game and a lore building game. Like, you had to fight against other players in order to unlock lore. And your deck essentially included, oh man, how did this work? There were nouns and adjectives, and your nouns were your basic attacks, and adjectives were like augments to it, essentially. And he did a sequel to it after everyone was like, that was great, and it included like stances and rhythm. What was it? Rhythm and rhythm and there was another thing there, and rhythm was essentially how well you're able to streamline attacks together. But then there was another one, like, we'll call it force, I guess, that like reduced your rhythm, but it gave your attacks more strength, and it like changed how it played out. It was really, really cool. No, it's not the reason for the lack of calendar update. That's been the kind of shaky schedule in general, trying to get like Kirby up and getting Diamond and Pearl back up. I had wanted to put the schedule up earlier this week. I've just been kind of swamped with getting videos done. So after this weekend, the schedule will be back up for patrons, and anybody that's watching this after the fact in VOD, head to patreon.com/dpatfm, and you can see, the upload schedule and many other things. You can help me decide. Actually, this is a great segue. Decide on games that are coming up. There is an official announcement that's going to be coming regarding this, but literally, I had shot a video to announce the next streams. And literally at 7:59 p.m. So part of the video included me saying, all right, come back in 1 hour. We're going to stream blah. Literally at 7:59 p.m. and a change, like less than 20 seconds before the video was supposed to go live, I had an issue with one of the games, and I had to just fly over and make the video private because I'm like, But so we did a poll. And I got the results. Anyone that's in the Patreon poll will actually be able to see the results. But this is also for folks in the VOD side of things. So we had a poll with a bunch of suggested games that we're going to decide like what I was going to be streaming next. And the winner of the poll with 10 votes was Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. And I decided what I was going to do was on Thursdays, I was going to play Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, and on Tuesdays, I was going to play Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, which had 7 votes. People could vote more than once. This wasn't like a one vote a person thing. And the reason I had to stop the video was because as I was turning things on and doing tech checks and things, literally I was sitting in XSplit going like, okay, well, we'll just get the overlay set up. I just need to figure out how big exactly I need the screen size to be. I got the game disc read error. So I pulled out another Wii, and I got the game disc read error. And I pulled out a GameCube and got the game disc read error. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's really bad. For 2 reasons. I guess one the bright side of things is I thought that this meant that Wheezy Wee had finally bit the dust, and that's not the case. Wheezy Wee lives to see another day. The downside is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is not a cheap game to replace. I have Partners in Time ready to go. Will the camera focus on it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. Partners in Time is ready to go. But Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is in limbo. Basically, tomorrow I have some methods. I didn't try to like deal with any scratches on there. It is also my copy from high school. Like, it's an old ass game, and it's my original copy. So I'm not surprised. I don't know if I did it so much with GameCube discs. With full-size CD-ROM level discs, I definitely literally just had like one of those spindle stack things, and I also very much just had them in stacks in places, so I'm sure that some of my older CDs are not in great shape. But I'm going to keep working on it, and depending on what the situation is, if for whatever reason I need to hold it back another week or longer, then I'm going to, in the meantime, be playing our second place winner, or a runner-up for the poll in the meantime, which is Baba Is You, which is one I've been interested in for a while. I think I do. I had one back in high school. It did seem like it mostly just like smeared the disc. But I have owned one of those in the past. I don't know if I do anymore. And I don't know how well it would work on a GameCube disc, because it's a smaller, so I don't know if it'll grip in the same spot. But yeah, so Baba Is You was our number 2. So if we do have to stall for a little longer for one reason or another, might do some Baba Is You. Yeah, like it's right. It looked like someone took an eraser and just spun it in their hand while they went. And I was never sure. Yeah, same. I was never actually sure if it was solving any problems. So I don't know. Those things were everywhere though at the time, because everything was CD-based media in the 2000s. So, and I guess the late 90s, but mostly the 2000s. But yeah, so other results. So in tied for third, we got Persona 5. And tied for 5th, we got Danganronpa and Final Fantasy 9. I think I'm going to hold those in the back for a little while. There was also Persona 4, which I was looking at, but I was curious, what people thought about Persona 5. I know it's more popular generally anyway. I'm probably still going to do, Persona 4 first, but I wanted to kind of test the waters on Persona in general for that. But so those I'm going to hang on to, mostly because there's going to be some streams coming up in the spring, I guess, that I will want to be able to focus on a little bit more, and I don't know if I want to do those alongside like a really long form RPG. So I may hold on to that, because also sometime in the spring I'm expecting Project Cross Zone to show up in the schedule. So I want to make sure that I'm not like getting into like a 130-hour game right before that's happening, because that means we're just gonna have two things taking up like half or more of 2022. So yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Persona 3, I think, was like 150 hours for me or something. Like, it was a long motherfucking game. Granted, it was like 115 for the main game, and then the remainder was in the like DLC extra game thing that was there. But even still, Donkey Kong 94 would have been cool. Yeah. I can see why that feels like kind of in a similar ballpark. But yeah, I've been meaning to try Donkey Kong 94 for a while. I might own it. I'm not sure if I do. But yeah, so that one we'll have to hang on to for another time. But yeah, so that's where the poll wound up. A handful of other things did okay in the poll. Some of those were submissions that I had as well, just as like, yeah, I'm interested in these, but I want to make sure. Oh, geez, I have an ambassador. Oh, actually, I don't know if I have it anymore. My ambassador 3DS I loaned out to someone many years ago and haven't ever really gotten back. Mostly because I got the recording one in time. Actually, I might still have it. But it's not a recording 3DS, so it doesn't really do me any good. Persona 3 was pretty much exactly a year. Yeah, it was almost, it might have even literally ended on the same day a year later, or like a day off or something. But that's the thing, is like, I don't know if I want to commit to, it says 80 to 140 for P3, and that was 150. Yeah, Persona 5 could entirely possibly be like a 200-hour experience. Like I would need to really, 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 really be ready to commit to Persona 5. So yeah, and then there's the question of like, would I do Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal or all of that stuff too? I should do Persona 5 Strikers, or Scramble, and you know, because why not? Is Royal kind of the same situation as Fest? It's just kind of like it's the same but with more. I know that there's a female protagonist. Is it? It is Strikers. Is Scramble a different thing? Was Scramble just like a rumored name back when it was just 5S? It's like Base Plus. Okay, no, that makes sense. Same goes for Shin Megami Tensei. Shin Megami Tensei 5. It's also like just a gigantor game. Oh, Scramble might be. I think Persona 4 Golden is also supposed to be the same idea. Yeah. Although, isn't that also like a weird PSP situation too? I think there was like something that was weird about Golden, but I don't know. Great. But yeah, okay. Oh, it's on Steam now. Okay, perfect. That's good. Also, Mega Man X Dive is on Steam too, so at some point we'll come around to that, and we won't have to. It's convenient that it'll be on Steam because I do have a setup that works for recording from my iPhone, and I do have an Xbox controller that's synced up to my iPhone, so we could have made that work, but I was like, I think it'd just be better to be able to just do like a Steam version and not have to worry about that. Like I'll hook up the controller obviously, but it'll be nice to not have to worry about like, oh, I got to put my phone into airplane mode so I don't get random updates in the middle of recording and I get notifications for shit all day long. That's the thing, and it's like I'm sure I would enjoy the hell out of SMT5. It looks awesome. It looks like a solid game. It's just like it's such a time commitment, and I don't know if I necessarily want to spend a year streaming it, you know? Because I enjoyed Persona 3 a lot. I enjoyed Dragon Quest 11 a ton, but I basically did those back to back, and it was like, here's like 2 years of streaming 2 games, and it's just like it does both it does mean that a ton of my, streaming time is taken up by not much, but also it means like fewer games get seen, which is kind of a bummer. I would love to do like more games in general, but yeah. I mean, yes, if I did Tuesday and Thursday both, it would go twice as fast, but that's still like 6 months solid of twice a week streaming the same game, which is like, that's the thing. Like, granted, if people are reliably into it, then like that works. But also, if it's a game that's not really working for folks, that's me and 9 people in a room twice a week for 200 hours. Like, oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. And there's always the possibility too of like if I played it, I could break it up by chapters too and be like, all right, we made it through chapter 1. I'm gonna take a week off. We're gonna do something small and then we'll come back. Something. I don't know. It's not really important right now, though. Like, I think we will have enough time to get through both of the Mario RPGs, before other stuff comes into play. And we'll see how things go. I'm gonna try doing the old lens cleaner on there. I'm gonna try it in the Wii a couple times. We'll see. There's also the possibility of I'm gonna look into. Because I know that anti-piracy stuff is big with at least Paper Mario, but I would also be maybe looking into like homebrew channel stuff. I'm trying to remember if we homebrewed the Wii or the Wii U for Project M. I think I think what we did was there was a trick you could do with the Wii U to homebrew the Wii inside of it without actually jailbreaking anything. And it involved like an SD card with a very specific set of stuff on there. Which, granted, could also potentially give us an easy non-jailbreaky backdoor for Paper Mario 2. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I got to look into Kingdom Hearts 02. Because depending on how things go, the fact that it is a Birth by Sleep follow-up, and that there's not like there's no because isn't back cover isn't like a movie retelling of O2. It's just back cover is from Kai, I think, right? Or Key. I'm trying to remember. But 0.2 doesn't have like a movie version for it, so that'll probably be a weekend thing. The general rule of thumb is going to be anything that has like a movie style reanimated thing is going to get done as a game in stream and not as a game on weekends, and the stuff that doesn't is just going to get done on weekends. We've been kind of slow to get Dream Drop Distance started, but I think not this week obviously, but hopefully in the next 2 weeks after that we'll be able to start getting things going. Actually, come to think of it, no, that's 2 weekends from now. Yeah. So the first week of February might have a chance. The second week of February is Super Bowl Sunday and also my nephew's birthday. And that's going to mean that I'm not going to be around very much, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of recording happening that weekend. But I digress. So yeah, this is probably a good time to kind of walk down schedule-y stuff anyway. It'll do. We got that first batch. This coming Monday is? I mean, well, I'll. That's right, because you're on break. You're on vacation. So yeah, who knows? There we go. That's the trick. I'll go 3 times a week for 2 weeks, and then that'll head off all of the extra time for an SMT game. Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna be doing Let's Predict the Super Bowl once again. We got to see this weekend. We'll be seeing which teams are actually going to be in the Super Bowl this year, and it is between the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Niners, and the Rams. Me personally, I would love to see a Niners-Chiefs game, though the Bengals have been doing pretty phenomenal lately, so they'd be entertaining as hell. I think the Bengals-Chiefs game is going to be, to be honest, Bengals-Chiefs I feel like is going to go to the Bengals, and between the 49ers and the Rams, the Niners have kind of a bad habit of like choking when the pressure's on lately, so like if I had to predict the Super Bowl, like in terms of who's going to go, my prediction would be Bengals-Rams. I want to see the Chiefs go. I like Pat Mahomes. And the Niners, I have like a soft spot for them and Jimmy G and all of that too. So I want Niners-Chiefs. I'm expecting Bengals-Rams. So we'll see how that turns out. But both of those games are Sunday, so by the end of Sunday night, we will know who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Chiefs-Rams, okay. They were struggling a bit at the start of the playoffs, though, but I would love to see the Rams choke at the Super Bowl. I would love seeing that any day of the week. Every day, all the time. Rams can choke up and down the Super Bowl. Why not? That should be like a season starting thing. I don't know enough about the players and the coaching staff and all that of the league in order to make good calls, so I would be the color commentary guy on just like wild bullshit from the start of the season. But a let's predict I can't even call it Let's Predict the Super Bowl, right? Because you are predicting the Super Bowl. You're just not predicting the outcome of the Super Bowl. There's got to be another name for that. I don't know. Let's prognosticate the Super Bowl. But yeah, like a video at the start of the season would be kind of fun for something like that sometime. We might put a little twist on the Super Bowl video this year. I'm still kind of looking into it. We probably won't, but we may. Whoop. Hi there. Hi there, Chonk. Come here. Nope, don't go that way. She's like standing on the laptop as she loves to do. Whoops. While I'm doing stream things. Hello. Yeah, there we go. She's being adorable. Per usual. Yep. There we go. Gonna spin around there? Yeah. There we go. Whoop. You looking to get down already? Talking to the mic. She's too adorable. Oh my god. So it's funny, the most years we do like loosely go for like actual sports commentary sounds. It's kind of the same idea for the games. But I think last year having us in like suits and having us in the like video heads up thing. Did we do the video heads up thing? I think we did. was kind of a fun little thing there. You did great, Tonk. There you go. But yeah, no, I think that was kind of a fun little spin to put on all of that. But yeah, it'll do. We got that first session in, and then we lost 2 episodes, and we just kind of haven't gotten it back on its feet. This weekend's probably gonna be pretty big. This weekend, if we get enough people, we're doing our multiplayer stuff. If not, then we'll have plenty of time to record other shit, including It'll Do. It's going to be kind of a 50-50 sort of weekend. But that one's been fun so far. Yeah, we recorded 6 episodes, and we didn't notice until right near the end of the 4th episode that the laptop had gotten disconnected. The little power brick has a USB-C connector on one side of it, and it got popped off. Not like off, but like it got popped out very slightly, and we didn't notice until the laptop, until well after the laptop had turned off. We just weren't really paying attention to it. So I started a new save file and got us back to the exact spot where that episode cut off. So we'll be able to start from there again. We only lost about like 25-ish minutes. Like, it wasn't actually too bad. The spot we had gotten to was almost the halfway point of the game. So like rough guess, we probably have like 16 to 18 episodes of the game altogether. Maybe 20 or so if there's like a larger final section that we have to do. But that one's been going pretty well so far. It's nice to be able to get back in there. I know, that was like my favorite. I made it the last special for Christmas this year because I figured it was going to be the biggest surprise of the bunch. Lots of surprises in the mix. I figured, oh my God, Titan AE and It'll Do we're going to be the 2 like biggest wait what to show up in there. So Titan AE, we got incredibly lucky. They just kind of forgot about the copyright claim, so I just let it sit. Somewhere in mid-November, I clicked on it because I'm like, fuck it, why not? And they just let it go. They let it happen for 30 days and it was gone. And so like a week maybe before Christmas, I was like, well, there we go. That's number 11. That one's that's our 11th special for sure. Mega Man. Mega Man, we are actually, before we do that, Hindsight is taking a couple weeks off over the course of the games just because like it's just one extra thing to try to deal with among all of this. So we should be seeing that sometime near the end of February, where Hindsight will be coming back. Yeah, You Only Live Twice. I had actually put that on the list of maybes, but as we got to like a week or 2 before Christmas, it kind of became obvious to me that it wasn't going to go up in time. Like I wasn't going to have time to actually sit and really edit it because that one has like effects that need to be added and they're really time consuming. Nope. Tonka's sniffing the scraps on my plate from dinner. There you go. No. But yeah, you Only Live Twice will one day make it. It's just just not there yet. You got a cat? You good? She's figuring it out. Nope, stop doing that. Oh my God. No, who's up next for Hindsight will remain a secret until the day it goes up. But we have at least some episodes for one recorded, and we're working on getting another one situated, and actually another one situated after that too. So hopefully this will be the last like real gap between any of these. I guess it's the only gap. I think we had Felice's go up pretty quickly after Mule. But the games is just going to be kind of a busy time, and I want to give us a little bit of breathing room. In the realm of Mega Man, we will be starting up Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch soon. It was actually supposed to be before Mega Man Christmas Carol, but we just kind of ran out of time and weren't able to record it before then, so I just kind of switched them. So that was okay. Sonic and the Secret Rings has been moving along. That one's been getting there. It's been interesting and difficult to play. So that's been a whole thing. But we're getting there. I think we've only got 3 of the rings so far, 3 of our 7 rings. And the challenges have been interesting. There's been some that have been kind of cool. I actually really liked the like swinging one that showed up in the levitated ruin. I thought that was cute. And I'm at least intrigued by ones that are like have no rings or all of that. I think those are kind of something, but it ain't good. Oh boy. So yeah, we're pretty much right about there. We get to the pirate stuff. I think if we're not already there, we're getting there on Monday. Yeah. So that's what a thing. I'm maybe looking forward to moving on from that game. I expected it was gonna be rough. I also find it hilarious that the game that split off from Sonic 06 in order to be developed in the first place features a reference to the actual Iblis, or at least the in the real world mythological Iblis, while Sonic 06 had a creature called Iblis. That has to have been a thing where like they split off so early that oh my god, I forget who it was. Let's say damn it. But regardless, I feel like they were just like, oh, let's do an Iblis thing also, and they kind of went from there. But yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to Sonic Rush Adventure. I've never played that game, and I loved Sonic Rush. I liked it growing up, and I never got around to playing the sequel, so I'm really looking. It's like the brightest spot out of the games that are coming up, to be honest. Let me actually take a look at my list here. There we go. Oh God. Oh boy. Sonic Rush Adventure is the one I'm looking forward to the most up until Sonic Unleashed, and there's a wall of trash between here and there. Holy shit. I will admit I'm looking forward to Sonic Chronicles, but I've heard really strongly polarized thoughts about it, mostly skewing to the negative. So like we'll see there, but yeah. Anyway, Sonic Rush Adventure is gonna be nice, and then we're gonna have a whole lot of junk. It's not gonna be pretty. But we're gonna be in Sonic and the Secret Rings for a little. Yeah, I know, right? It's arguably a worse wall of trash coming up than I guess if you say that Sonic if you make Sonic Rush Adventure like the exception, like the one shining thing, it's pretty much everything from Sonic Riders to Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Riders through Sonic Chronicles. That's all just kind of junk for like. Oh my god, they came out so fast too. Sonic Riders was early 2006. Sonic Chronicles was like mid to late 2008. And there's like 10 games in here. Holy fuck. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be a whole thing. So cool. Kirby. We're playing Kirby Battle Royale right now. It's been adorable, and I actually am really enjoying it. It's a cute little thing. It feels a little on the repetitive side, but the mini game aspect to it keeps it moving pretty nicely. I don't know how long it's actually going to be. I've heard this one's supposed to be fairly long, but Lindsay and I sat down for one session and got through 2 of the 4/5, I guess 5, leagues in the game. So we're moving through it faster than I was expecting to. We are also moving to an everyday release schedule to make sure that we can get it done in time for the Forgotten Land. It may not actually be like necessary, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Oh boy, so cold. Actually, it doesn't feel too bad. It feels kind of nice right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Pokemon Legends Arceus came out today. My pre-order from like legit 8 months ago. For one, yesterday it was like, oh yeah, it'll be ready to pick up, and I'm like, well, I didn't order it like that. And it's like, yeah, it'll be pick up from Grapeview, Texas. I'm like, what?
No.
which turns out to be GameStop's headquarters, and it's just like a bug in their system that shows it like that. So it will be arriving here. except it's scheduled to arrive here on Monday, after the day when we've got everyone here, or however many people are able to show up. So
all of the local everyone's.
Yeah. Yeah, the completionist 41.5 is very confusing to me. Because, like, unless it's something like beat every minigame with every character, I don't know how there can be literally, like, 4 times the length of the game. Or I guess 3 times the length of the game in addition after the main plus extras. Also, how long to beat is a pain in the ass. They need to, like...
Averages, yes.
They need to, like, rework their system with more granular control, because, like... main plus extras and completionists get blurred so much that like it's really hard to tell what they mean half the time. But
I think they also need a system to throw out outliers. I understand that's what the average is supposed to eventually accomplish.
Well, they got to do it like, I mean, figure skating, for example. We talked about the games earlier. Figure skating, what they tend to do is you get your scores, but the top and bottom score get thrown out, so the outliers don't like skew it super hard. So something along those lines, I guess. But yeah, people have been very into it so far. Like, it's the things that people have been most worried about, like the landscape seeming empty, definitely seems to still be true. It does seem like there's some interesting buggy quirks with some of the Pokemon in terms of how they interact with the world map. But otherwise, people are like really, really enjoying the game and the combat and all of that. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it gets here before Monday. If it doesn't, we may splurge one of us on an extra download digital copy, which is a pain in the ass and I hate. And I wish that that there was a way you download the game and then you have a physical one that you could go like, apply this to this physical game and refund me for the digital download or something. But they're not going to do that, so I don't know.
I mean, I just wish that the physical games these days actually contained the entire game.
They contain the entire game, yeah.
Half the time it's just like the token to download the game. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Spyro.
That doesn't
Reignited.
Save me any space.
Yep. Spyro Reignited contains the first game, and then you have to download the second and the third.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
They're not the only ones, but yes.
Yeah.
They are well known for it.
Yes. Let's see. Pokemon Rivals. Diamond and Pearl are moving along. I got through the second gym. Pretty no fuss. I did mess up. I should have used Pluck on the last Pokemon. It would have made it a little bit smoother, but it wound up being not too big a deal. John is now working through his second chapter as well. I think he ended his session on Route 205 or I think he was near the north end of Route 205. So he's making his way through there relatively quickly. Your new Nintendo account, buy our case on it, then sell access to the account to someone. Oh, geez. Oh, my God.
Got $60. Here you go.
Yeah, right. Holy cow. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just, it would definitely be a tough sell.
Games after you bought them?
No. You would just need to essentially sell someone the username and password and have them log in on their side and then just attach it to that Switch, basically. Like, that's how that would be. Isle of Armor. As soon as we get Ben and Jeff together, we'll have more of that. We were supposed to actually do it last time, but the Thousand Arms finale wound up chewing up pretty much the entirety of the time we were going to have for that. So unfortunately, I don't know if anyone else on the team actually owns it or is going to own it before Monday. John was suggesting that he might, purchase it. So, like, maybe that can be a thing that works. And then once I have a physical copy, the family share thing shouldn't make a difference either way, I guess. But we'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the Isle of Armor, we're right near the end of it. We just got to, like, get the two of them together to finish that off. And we'll be heading off to the Crown Tundra. No real updates beyond that. Resident Evil. We're going to be moving into Resident Evil 4 maybe this weekend. Especially if we don't wind up being able to get the multiplayer games thing situated, then definitely this weekend. We've got some cool stuff we're trying to figure out for that. Some guest appearances, all that jazz. Should be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard pretty solid things about Resident Evil 4. It's kind of like the defining third-person shooter game, which is amazing coming from a game that did not focus on like being a shooter at the outset. So like that should be an interesting experience, but we'll see. No, that's fine. You can hang out there. That's cool. There's no problem with that. Yeah, I've never played Resident Evil 4 before. I'm not going to be the one with my hands on the controller, but I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it. So that'll be solid. Then, of course, we get to watch the steady decline over Resident Evil 5 and 6. But them's the breaks. Comes with the territory. We talked about Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy VII, similar to some of the other games, we're just kind of trying to wait on having a bunch of people and the time for it, which I think once the games are further along or over, then yeah, we're definitely firmly into middle Resident Evil at this point. Everything from Resident Evil 1 up through arguably the Chronicles games, they're more of like a send-off than they are like a full part of it, but basically through the Chronicles games are kind of old school Resident Evil, and from 4, maybe including Darkside Chronicles forward, that's kind of mid Resident Evil up through 6, and then 7 till now is kind of modern Resident Evil. Yeah, exactly. When CJ and Felice are kind of are around for more stuff now, and so that should hopefully help us out with getting maybe some more of that going. We'll see. Mega Man Star Force. We have beaten the main game. We have tons of backlog, and we have beaten the main storyline and are moving into the post game. We haven't started the post game yet. I know what the first thing we have to do to get the post game kind of started is going to be. But we have not recorded any of it yet, but we have gotten through to the end of the game. I will say, it's kind of the most annoying final boss situation that I've seen, because you have to save on the other end of a room with enemies before you can go to the boss. And granted, you kind of do that. You do that in some other games anyway, but here it's like enemies that you have to do a stylus thing to in order to avoid a battle. And it's like, it's just annoying enough. Just like the rest of the game, honestly. But Resident Evil shows and movies plans. Sort of. There are some loose plans for a couple things related to the shows and movies. Been kind of chatting with CJ about it. And yeah, it's like the one honest-to-God stylus thing in the game. And of course, it's one where you have like a second, if that, to do what you need to do, or you're punished with a battle. Oh Jesus, that's a pain in the ass. So you know what's coming up at the very end, and you had to deal with the worst of it, because if you get unlucky when trying to navigate, you just get battle after battle after battle after battle that way. I have thought about checking out Sweet Home. I hadn't really thought about the Evil Within. But I'll chat with CJ about all that. We were debating like maybe doing Sweet Home at some point, but yeah, Star Force 2 is coming down to the end. It's interesting. The post game here feels like it's going to be more fractured than normal post games, because I have heard essentially that there is like a full actual post game thing going on, whereas most of the post games are kind of like, oh, you've got a couple new areas unlocked, or oh, here's a secret new area that's unlocked, and like it's just kind of like, oh, explore it, and there's some like very, very loose like base related or lore or whatever. But apparently this one's actually got like legit shit going on. So we're going to have like an actual post-game story before we get into like completion and stuff. And per usual, like 95% of the post-game is just completing the library. So, and I've been, and like, I'm going to be, pulling together my like usual list of how to do all of that stuff too. But, Star Force 3 does too. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no kidding. After this, we're down to the very last game. Unless they magically announced the team behind Star Force made Mega Man 11, and they were working on a Star Force 4 when things got shut down. So if they announced a Mega Man Star Force 4 for the Switch by the time we were wrapping up 3, I would shit and cum at the same time. My muscles would be horrified at what's happening to me. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, I'm not surprised that it's going to be just awful battles for the end. Yeah, I do want some non-mobile stuff. I'm glad Mega Man X Dive, is on Steam now, so I don't have to worry about the mobile side of things. Yeah, no more mobile shit for Mega Man, please. Let's keep it to actual like games. I would love to see. It's wild to me that they still Mega Man 11. I'm pretty sure at this point is the best-selling Mega Man game of all time. I'm pretty sure that it surpassed Mega Man 2 at this point. Last I checked, which was like 3 to 6 months ago, it was the second best-selling Mega Man game ever, under Mega Man 2. So even that alone should be like, Capcom, please put some more energy into Mega Man as a brand. Please, people will buy it. I know that it's never been like a massive sell. It's so weird that Mega Man is such a popular character, but such a low-selling franchise. Like, even Mega Man 2 is like 1.5 million or something, which is a lot for the 1980s, or 1990 or whenever that one came out. But no, I think that one was like 1988. But regardless, like, nothing since then has beaten that, and it's like, how is that possible? Yeah, right. And like, it's not uncommon for big studios to fire people as soon as the game is over, which is a shitty, awful practice in the industry, and it super sucks. And I watched people go through that firsthand. That was not fun. Back in like 2013, somewhere around there, maybe 2012. But yeah, so like that's not the best thing to watch people have to deal with. But yeah, a Mega Man Star Force 3, a Mega Man ZX3, a Mega Man X9, a Mega Man 12, Mega Man Legends 3. There's just plenty of room for a new thing. Even if they wanted to do a Mega Man Battle Network 7 that was set a little bit after the original series, like, I'd be fine with that too. I don't know. But yeah, so Star Force 2, we are about to start the post game. Gonna be a ride. We're gonna have to do some missions. I know that there's some missions that you essentially have to do in order to get certain cards and items that you need in order to get completion of the game. So we're probably literally just gonna like, there's gonna be a point after the story portion of the post game is over where we're just running around doing missions for everybody. And most of the missions are actually not that bad. Like, they're annoying early on, but they aren't the worst things ever. They're just slightly annoying. We're also probably going to take, essentially we're probably just going to walk through the world again, be in the overworld, run around and interact with everything we can to activate the things they wouldn't let us activate earlier in the game, which still annoys me. It's like, make it barred off, but don't not allow me to like unlock it, because I'm going to forget that it's there. Like, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. The Gunvolt games. It's true. Yeah, I don't know. Inti Creates that's the problem. Capcom gave Inti Creates too much room to do their own stuff, so now they're into their own franchise. They don't have time for Mega Man anymore. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing like the EM battles again for score. Those ones are always kind of a pain in the ass. It's annoying to me because it usually means that I have to like set up my folder very specifically, and I mean, we have more than one folder, but I think that the Star Force games still, like, if you put a card in one folder, it makes it unavailable to any folder, which is like, what? And yeah, the Skywave, like, I get what they were going for. I do understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to the Wave Road was meant to more closely integrate being Mega Man with the areas that you're in as Geo. And I get that. And I get that the Skywave was meant to be kind of a minimized version of the old, like, internet in terms of being separate from everything, and it connects you to everything else. And I get that. But, like, it's just kind of annoying that I have to use the Skywave to get between Echo Ridge and, I was going to say Yumland, Loch Mess or Wazap and all of that stuff. Like, it's just a lot, and unless I put like repel stuff on, I have to be dealing with just low-level bullshit enemies. And even if it's a matter of running, Editor Rick still has to do some of the funky editing that goes on every time a battle gets started. They have a bus. That's the thing. They should have had the internet bus. They should have fucking truck bus or something to take you. It's like, oh, we opened up a freeway between us and WhatsApp, let's go, or something. But they didn't. You have a bus to take you to Wilshire Hills, but not, a cyber bus that takes you to, the Bermuda Maze. Bermuda Maze is actually not that hard to get to, all things considered. I think Loch Mess is like the most annoying one to actually reach. Like, you actually have to hike the furthest to get there. Bermuda Maze is pretty close. WhatsApp is a little close. And then Loch Ness is like just you have to run through a bunch of the Skywave. But I don't know. I am looking forward to. I've heard that in Star Force 3, the screen switch, like the primary screen doesn't switch as much, which is something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, we'll see where that one's going. I think that's it for like games to talk about too. Yeah, I think that's it for like stuff that's been yeah, I think that's it for like games that have been going on, games that are coming. Yeah. February is going to be a little bit weird just between the weather and the games and all of that stuff. It's going to be kind of a little bit snug there. When R-rated. Oh yeah, that's true. R-rated is going to be back in time for Moon Knight, which is March 30th, I think. No, March 30th is Kirby. Oh god, they're very close together, I think, aren't they? I have the list. Where is it? March 25th is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. March 30th is Moon Knight. But yeah, so end of March, we should be seeing R-rated coming back. It's funny. I was thinking the same thing too. It's like, man, Spider-Man came out and I loved it. And now I'm just like, oh, we're just kind of like chilling for like 3 months. And it's so weird because it used to be we had to wait, a year or two for stuff to happen. And then it became a year and then it became like 6 months. And now it's like we're getting new Marvel shit constantly. And it's a whole new world at this point. And there's some folks that are like, oh, it's never going to be the same as it was before Endgame. But people said the same thing about the Avengers. And honestly, we're just back to like phase 1, phase 2 kind of like setup stages where it's like, yeah, stuff is scattered and it's going to come together. That's how they plan these things out. So like, I'm willing to give them space and all of that. 2021 was incredible. We had 6 shows and 4 movies. I have thought about doing polls for R-rated. Yes, I want to get a few more things kind of like situated, both in terms of schedule and in terms of like my life and all of that stuff. But I do want to do some more R-rated series in the future. I still am like not totally satisfied with how the videos come out. I want to workshop them a little bit more. Granted, the best way to do that is with practice. So, I think what it'll really come down to, especially for stuff that's not like new releases where I'm trying to get it out same day or day after, if I can watch stuff and do my review and do a little bit more editing on it. The biggest problem is like the day an episode comes out, I watch an episode and it's like an hour of my time. And then I am taking notes throughout that, sometimes pausing, and then I have to organize my notes into some kind of rough outline, which takes about an hour. Then I record, and that also tends to take about an hour. So that's 4 hours before I even like get it into Premiere, make it look better, and then export it. And that usually also takes an hour, and then it uploads for an hour. So like if I want any chance of getting a video a day of R-rated up, I have to do it like first thing in the morning, and it takes up most of my day. So I need to figure out a better formula for that a little bit. So yeah, but oh yeah, Super Mario Brothers. I'd actually thought about doing that at one point. It was an early Plinzy. There's Peter. Oh my God. There was a point where we were going to kick off Movie Nights at the Round Table with non-Marvel stuff, and one of the things I was debating was, we should do video game movies as our like main thrust for that, and start with Super Mario Brothers and go from there. We even filmed a kind of intro for it, and we just kind of never like made the actual review and never sat down to watch it. But one of these days, we will probably watch at least a handful of video game movies, because that's something we can all speak to relatively authoritatively, even if it's games we haven't played. Like I've never played Tomb Raider, the old ones or the new ones. But I can tell you what makes a good movie and what doesn't. Same thing for Prince of Persia. I played the Sands of Time trilogy. I didn't play Sands of Time. I played the two. What was it the other two? The Something Within and the two whatevers. The second and third game from the Sands of Time trilogy I played, and like I played a little bit of the reboot I guess the second reboot. Sands of Time was also a reboot. But I never saw the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, and I wasn't very interested, and I heard really not good things about it, so I just never really got there. Oh yeah, I would love to actually take a look at the deleted scenes. Essentially, like I don't even know what to call it. It's not even like a raw cut. It's just like a lost cut, I guess, of the movie that got unraveled. A couple. What was it? A year ago now? I think it was like a year ago. But yeah, once we get into the spring, we got a new Kirby, we got an MCU show. In May, we get Doctor Strange. In July, we get Thor 4. So we got a couple things going on there. I'm sure we're gonna have more shows coming up. I know Ms. Marvel is supposed to be a summer thing. If I had to guess, I would think it's gonna happen in like June or something, like in between Doctor Strange and Thor, maybe like immediately after Doctor Strange comes out. But I don't know. Oh, is Super Mario Brothers a Disney movie? Do they own the rights to that? That's fucking hilarious. I thought it was like a Columbia thing or something. Let's see. Oh, Buena Vista Pictures. Yeah, that's Disney. That's hilarious. Oh, man. What a weird... This was also the funniest part about that, too, is like this is literally right at the moment in time where a poll came out that this was in like the early mid-90s. A poll came out that showed that that Mario was actually a more recognized and popular character than Mickey Mouse. Right around the time of Super Mario Brothers and the Wizard. So yeah. Oh my God. Hilarious. You can bet your ass we're gonna wind up seeing the Mario movie when that comes out. Same thing for Sonic 2. Those will be interesting to talk about. I'm curious if the Mario movie is just gonna be called Super Mario or something. I feel like it's gonna be like Super Mario and or something, but yeah, Super Mario Brothers and Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff coming up. I'm doing my damnedest to try clearing things out, but new stuff keeps coming out. At the very least, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, even if it's long, is going to be the big finale for the Dreamy Let's Play. And I was gonna say Sonic Frontiers, but no, we have a million years of Sonic left to go. We will be seeing Breath of the Wild 2 probably at the end of this year. Probably. It's still kind of up in the air there, I guess, but I don't know. I'm glad that Nintendo has kept their lips sealed for the most part. I think it's smart for them not to tip their hand too much, even though everyone's like starved for information. I think too many game studios, CD Projekt Red, get in over their head when they start like being a little too open about the process and where things are at, because it means that sometimes that extra social media presence means you're going to be promising a lot more than is really doable, or you wind up inadvertently misleading people on stuff. And it's just like, it's better just like the Nintendo way, outside of Pokemon at the very least, has generally been, a couple teasers here and there, but it'll be done when it's done, and when it's done, you'll probably love it, so don't worry about it. And it's like, all right, that's fair. I love the idea that it's kind of taking elements from Skyward Sword into it, or it at least appears to be. I kind of love the idea that it's kind of the bringing it full circle, that the furthest future game in the franchise is also tying back into the earliest one in the franchise. It does make me a little bit anxious, though, that it's like it's been a small lifetime since we got a non-Breath of the Wild related game, and I don't know when we're going to see one that is not a remake in HD or a port from. It's wild to me that they still haven't ported Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD to the Switch yet. I do not understand. Maybe they're going to do like some kind of HD pack or sell them immediately before Breath of the Wild comes out just to shore up some PR and marketing on the side. Even though Breath of the Wild 2, it's pretty obvious based on how much the first one just completely took over the world of gaming when it came out. Alongside Horizon Zero Dawn, that was actually the two of them coming out on top of each other was pretty wild to see. But Breath of the Wild 2 is obviously going to sell unbelievably well. And I think I think that, it'll be a good time when it comes out. Hey, C-Dude. Hello. And yeah, I do miss my little handheld Zelda games. It feels like it's been like what the last one we got was Triforce Heroes? Was that the last like new, not remake, because we got Link's Awakening also, but like I think Triforce Heroes was the last top-down Zelda game, new Zelda game that we got. And that one's functionally multiplayer for the whole thing. So if we're talking about like a standard top-down Zelda experience, the last time we've seen one of those was A Link Between Worlds, which was, I think, 8 years ago at this point. I think that was 2014. Maybe 2013 even. Holy shit. So it's been almost a decade now since the last traditional top-down Zelda game. And maybe it's just kind of grown out of it. And like it'll be a bummer if that's the case. But like, I get it if they've decided this is just the direction they're going, but it's like, at the very least, I wouldn't mind a game that's a little closer to Ocarina or Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword in terms of like 3D Zelda-ing or Wind Waker, but like Ocarina and Twilight Princess are kind of like your base for how to work them, and then Wind Waker goes kind of one way, Skyward Sword kind of goes the other. But I would love to see some, either retro-style Zelda games or the top-down ones, or like the early 3D Zelda style of games as opposed to these constant open world ones. Like, I'm appreciative of the open world ones. I just kind of miss my dungeon crawling little adventures. I don't know, but we'll see. That's the thing, is like I'm kind of surprised that they haven't put out anything since Breath of the Wild. They ported Link's Awakening, which I guess does count because it wasn't a port, it was a remake. So like credit on that, but I think that was mostly Grezzo anyway. But they have not put out a new game in between them at all. If anything, if they revealed that they were working on, if they were doing the Link's Awakening style for Oracle of Seasons and Ages, I'd be fine with that. If they were actually reconstructing the, was it Guardian Seed trilogy? Was that what it's called? No, the Mysterious Seed? Miracle Seed? Mysterious Seed, I think. Because it was supposed to be a trilogy of games that all interlocked. They are leaning on those, but those are also not developed by Nintendo anyway. Cadence was developed by... Oh no, why did I forget? The people who made Crypt, I'm pretty sure, just developed that themselves. And then Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity, which are both Koei Tecmo games, I believe. I don't know. Zelda seems to be in the middle of one of its spin-off phases. Sonic went through it, every couple of years. Kirby went through it every couple of years. And it's like, this is cool and all, but I would really like a traditional Zelda game to show up again ever. I don't know. Mario games roundly feel like, similar style adventures for years and years and years, and they're still enjoyable. So it's like, all right, I would really like it if we could maybe get something similar here, but I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm still hoping we get like a Mario Odyssey 2 down the line or something along those lines. It doesn't have to actually be Odyssey 2, but we got a Galaxy 2, and that was fine. And I would honestly take literally a DLC pack feeling Odyssey sequel any day of the week. That game was incredible. I feel like there's a chance that they will try to close out the Switch with an Odyssey sequel. They'll do another like cross-platform kind of deal. That's the thing, right? Like holiday 2023 makes sense. The last 2D or 2D style Mario game was probably New Super Mario Brothers Wii U. We got New Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2. New Super Mario Brothers Wii, New Super Mario Brothers... Oh, Super Mario 3D Land was... and that was also a 3D one, though. it was in the style. The Super Mario 3D Land and World games are like a little close, like they're kind of a weird hybrid. But the last like full on 2D style game was probably New Super Mario Brothers U, which would have been also about a decade ago. So we're kind of due for I don't know if Super Mario Maker 2 really counts exactly, but because they did have constructed levels, but I don't know. That one's kind of tough to say for sure. I put Super Rubber Ross World on the Patreon poll because I was curious on that one. I was like, yeah, I'll play a fucked up, big fucked up like Kaizo hack style frustrating situation, but it didn't do very well in the poll, so probably not. But yeah, so I think that's about all that I got for tonight, and I have a bunch of things that I'm kind of working on the side that I do want to get back to, including some stuff for tomorrow, but we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, there's no real, I guess the closest you could say for Zelda would be that like, actually no, there really is no top-down section. Ironically, top-down Zeldas occasionally have a side-scrolling segment, like in A Link Between Worlds and Link's Awakening, but I mean, yes and no, but also I don't know. The Rubber Ross World situation I heard was a pretty solid hack overall, even if it does more than just Mario World stuff. Yeah, I'll just go through the old Raocow library and just start replaying all the games that he has. That'll be the answer. But anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I got stuff I gotta take care of, and it's like glowing pink light into. Where is that coming from? It's coming from that one up there. Okay, I got a purple light that's right there, compared to where the screen is. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. If other folks watching the VOD for this want to join in, you can head to patreon.com/dpadfm. and see what we got going on there. I need to make some updates. I want to change up some things and tweak some of the perks and the rewards and the goals and all of those things. And yeah, but we will be back for another one of these February 25th, Friday. And I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys very, very much for hanging out, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Bye.